So a little hobby of mine is to collect snow globes. I have about 30 of them in my room. It's kind of taking over my shelves. But my family goes on a lot of trips, and it's become a habit of mine to kind of collect a snow globe from everywhere we go to kind of remember the trip and differentiate between the different trips. So each snow globe has either a good or bad memory attached to it, depending on the trip. And this particular snow globe is from London in 2006. It's actually kind of funny, I never actually really visited London that year, but our family and I went to Ireland for a few weeks in August 2006. And that part of the trip was really fun. We biked around Ireland, we ate a lot of good food, met a lot of really nice people with pretty funny accents. And it was me, my two older brothers, Samantha, my parents, and my cousin. And we all had a great time until the trip back home, where we had to fly from Dublin in Ireland to Heathrow in London and get a connecting flight from Heathrow back to Dulles. And the flight from Dublin to Heathrow was pretty uneventful. But once we got to Heathrow, we got off the plane and it was absolute chaos. We found out that the terrorist plot to blow up the planes across the Atlantic had just been uncovered that morning. So Heathrow was on lockdown. There were military guys running around with machine guns. There were bomb-sniffing dogs everywhere. Wherever you tried to go, people would check your bags. The airport was just overcrowded. People were running around. No one had any idea what was going on. It was complete insanity, and I was 12 years old, 11 years old at the time, and I understood what was going on, but I'd never seen my parents or my older brothers that scared or worried before. I'm so used to seeing them kind of calm and normal, but it was a completely new experience for me. It was the most terrifying thing I had witnessed, and we were supposed to have a connecting flight out that afternoon, but obviously all flights were grounded and canceled. So our family and I, we needed to find A, new flight out, and B, we didn't know how long we were going to be stuck at Heathrow in London, so we needed to find a place to stay. So as it turns out, the airport was too overcrowded, so they moved a lot of the customer service stands outside. They made tents in parking garages. So I remember it was actually very cold that day in August. It was weird. And so we had to stand in line for about 6 or 7 hours with everyone else waiting to get to the customer service representative. And finally we got to the front. And I'm not really sure how, but we managed to book a flight the very next day. It was one of the few flights they let out back to Dulles. So that part of was taken care of. And next we had to find a hotel for the night. And after many phone calls and a lot of kind of yelling from my dad, we managed to get a hotel for the night. And so everything was pretty calm after that. Everything was fine. We got to the airport next day. It was still pretty crazy, but we managed to get to our terminal and everything. And right before I got on my plane, my dad had a few pounds in his wallet, and he kind of wanted to get rid of them because there's no point keeping them. So he said, "You can go to that store and buy whatever you want." And I went in, and keeping with tradition, I bought a snow globe. And of course it was from London, even though we never visited London, we went to Ireland. But it became that now whenever I look at this snow globe, it kind of reminds me of that terrifying trip and how scared I really was. I don't think I've ever been that scared before in my life, and it still holds true. So.